Hey there, Wax Packers! Adam here coming at you with a super edition of Wax Pack Flashback! Dun 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 dun! Oh, yes, indeed. We are talking Superman today. In fact, something very exciting, the return of Superman cards from 1993. We'll get all into the details on this shortly, but you need a little bit of history, as if you didn't know already. There was a big event in 1992, not just in the world of comics, but in the world at large. Yes, Superman met his match at the hands of Doomsday. And this very ominous black poly bag sold millions of copies. Yes, this was a very big item that was promoted on news stations, and all of a sudden people were rushing to the comic shops. Superman's dying. This is a pop culture icon. This is a moment in time that will never be repeated. Truth be told, he actually already had died several times in other comic stories, but that's besides the point. This was the best publicized version. And so as a result, there was all sorts of special things DC Comics did, like this, News Time, okay? Which was like a faux Time magazine or Newsweek magazine celebrating the death of Superman and his legacy. It's actually a very fun read. Wizard Magazine, of course, did their tribute, made sure that everybody knew that they were celebrating the Man of Steel and all that he stood for. You can kind of see the special enhancements to that cover there. But then, as a result, DC Comics didn't just do a story and then the next month bring him back. No. They carried this on for quite a while, and quite well, I might add. How did they stretch out the Death of Superman story? Well, in addition to The World Without a Superman, where all the heroes and people in his life just kind of mourned him, they had a bunch of issues which featured, yes, some new Supermen that were in town, okay? So you got these different issues with a different shield, and when you flipped it inside, okay, you'd get Shaquille O'Neal. Well, not quite yet. But this was a very, very big deal, because this Reign of the Supermen storyline, okay, it actually created quite a buzz, because you didn't know, was one of these people the real Superman? Did he come back as a hip teenager with a leather jacket? Time would tell. But also in the meantime, they kind of would tease, they said, well, if a black poly bag sold a million copies, what if we did a white poly bag? And then made some sort of promise that maybe Superman is coming back. Spoiler, he didn't. This is a big fake out. But it was still a big moment in time. Everybody was reading it. And frankly, the stories were great week to week. Yes, Superman was a weekly comic at this point. It was pretty amazing. So after all was said and done, Superman finally did return. It turns out he was able to go into this regeneration chamber. He had an all-new look. And were we ready for it? Well, that is something that we're going to see inside these cards. I'm hoping we see some shots of the other Supermen as well. I have a feeling like these cards, I've never opened them before. I didn't buy them back in the day, but they must like encompass the whole saga. That's what I'm hoping. So let's get into it. All right, so here we are with our pack of the Return of Superman trading cards from 1993. Tells us 8 cards per pack. It says here, better than ever, Superman. And as you can see, this definitely was a different era, right? Because there he is with the glasses on and the long hair. So that was definitely a side effect, I guess, of his regeneration process. And DC doubled down on the long hair. They said, that is the new look for Superman. That is how it is going to be. Let's flip it over here, see if we get any other information. Not really. I mean, it tells us there's no guaranteed number of bonus cards per box. So that's about it. And then, yeah, so it doesn't tell us what type of bonus cards there are in here. So I'm curious to find out. Let's get into it here. Wow, nice silver foil pack, though. You can love to see that. So let's pull them out here. Okay. Now, this, just the title kind of cracks me up. Naked Assault. Okay, Naked Assault. You have Superman and Steel racing towards the reader there. It says here, Superman and John Henry Irons, the Man of Steel, finally gain entrance to the massive engine that has replaced Coast City. You know, there's going to be a whole lot of information here, a lot of lore, but basically Coast City was where the Green Lantern operated out of, and this bad guy named Mongol destroyed it. He blew it all up. But yeah, there he sees in his black regeneration suit. But the art here is by John Bogdanove, who was a big Superman artist at this time. All right, there we go here. So Punch Out. Yes, looks like an actual panel pulled from the comic. So this is not Mike Tyson's Punch Out, for those of you who are fans of that NES game. Knowing Superman is powerless, the aliens who guard the enormous engine focus all their vicious attention on him. So yes, lots of focus on this huge engine that was being run by the bad guy, gonna do some bad stuff. Ooh, there we go. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Yes. So this is Dan Jurgens' creation, the cyborg Superman, who a lot of people believe might be the real Superman brought back to life. Says, having built an engine more enormous than any city on Earth, the cyborg murderer, once known as Hank Henshaw, prepares for the attack to come. By plugging into his engine's massive computer and control system, he uses his powers to command every facet of the machine's operation. His evil intelligence and engine have become one. Engine, engine, engine. These should have been called Superman engine cards. Whoa, now look at this. So there's Cyborg Superman, and he is blasting our boy Kal-El. Look, really making that shield pop there. Target Superman. Also, let's take a minute just to notice this border here of all like the silver Superman S shields even there. So that's interesting that they were going with that look, because his new black suit at that moment had that. Yep, the battle for Earth comes down to two combatants. It's Superman versus the Cyborg. So yeah, there we go. Wow. Doesn't look good for our boy Kal-El, but let's check out the next one here. Oh, so there he is right there, anticipating war. Yeah, so he definitely is looking very ominous there. That is Mongol, the mighty warlord and conqueror, eagerly awaits the battle to come. Yeah, so we kind of think he's the big bad, but then you learn like the cyborg Superman was kind of pulling the strings on everything that was going on. Yeah, so this is really like literally, I thought these were going to kind of encompass the whole, death of Superman and all of that, and then come back around to the return also. But this is literally just, remember the big comics where he came back? This is what's happening. So to the core, we have Steel and Superman once again. Yep. With the alien armies defeated, Superman and the Man of Steel race through the rubble, trying to find the primary core that leads to Mongol and the Cyborg. All right, we got two more here. So the one thing I want to say about these two is they're very glossy, as you can see that reflection there, which is always a nice touch for cards of this era. But you got Superboy hanging on there, riding hard. Again, you read into some of these things, naked assault, riding hard. I think somebody at Skybox was a little frisky that day. The teen of Steel, engrossed in an assault on Engine City, looks up to see an enormous destructive missile launch towards Metropolis. The young Superman leaps at the missile, catching on at the nick of time. Wow. So yes, very exciting, very exciting. All right, the last one here. Mongol's Death Grip. Oh, look at it. He's breaking his back there. Poor Kal-El. In a blind rage, the hulking alien Mongol ambushes Superman. Virtually powerless, Superman is no match for the mighty Juggernaut. Wait a minute. But yeah, So these are some very nice cards, but let's close this thing out here. Hey, we're back, and costume change! What? Well, I figure if Superman can come back in black, so can I. So yeah, that was an interesting pack of cards. Like I said, the scope of it was a little more narrow than I thought, that it really was literally just on the few issues that were the return of Superman. Okay, so be it. I guess you want to be more specific so you can release more sets of cards. That is just fine. So then the question becomes, right, what was my favorite? I have to say, honestly, like, there was a lot of panels from the comics, and you got to see some different artists, a lot of Mongol, a lot of engines. Once again, so many talk, the Engine City, the engine. But I have to say, my favorite was definitely this Cyborg Superman card. I mean, that is just a beauty. That is a favorite image of mine. In fact, a favorite image of mine because it was featured in an actual issue as a poster. Yeah, like, that's how big a deal this was. I mean, Terminator 2 had just come out, right? So a cyborg Terminator Superman just made a lot of sense. Bottom line, though, did I like Superman's hair? That is the question on all your minds, right? Was the long-haired Superman look something that I could get on board with? I gotta say, honestly, not my Superman, right? But it did. It hung around for a long time. We had several years of long-haired Superman. And I guess for the 90s, it made him a little more gritty, leaving it a little more edgy, but yeah, once he cut it, got back to normal, and got electric blue superpowers, maybe that was just one step too far even then. But yeah, Superman has had an interesting history, an interesting evolution, especially at this time. It was a great storyline and a nice set of cards, like very nice production value. So that is cool. But now the question, what are we going to cover next? What are we going to cover next? Well, why don't I reach over here and grab... Yes, a pack of Batman Forever trading cards, okay? So, everybody talks about Batman and Robin being the worst Batman movie, but what do we think about Batman Forever? I guess we'll find out in the next episode. So, we'll check you then. Until next time, stay tuned and stay subscribed. Always another pack of cards to come.